she also has papillae, so you can notice her skin texture kind of changes too. Yeah, she's going to have fun right tonight. She can change her skin texture, and they do that so they can blend into their environment, so they can hide amongst the kelp, amongst the rocks, and subtly for communication. Cuttlefish and squid, which are relatives to octopus, will use that color changing much more for communication because they're schooling animals. They live in big groups. Octopus in general are solitary animals, so they don't use it so much for communication, but more so for picnic behavior, camouflage. So how many arms does an octopus have?
8.
8, alright. So squid, which are related to octopus, closely related, they actually have 8 arms, and they have 2 additional appendages called tentacles. A lot of times people call octopus arms, but they're actually arms. And they get their name, cephalopod, by being head-footed animals. So right now I'm hanging on to basically the feet of Lulu. So these are her feet. And her head is that big bag there. That's called her mantle. And you can see her 2 eyes there. And that's where all of her organs are. So her digestive organs, her gills, everything else. They're head-footed animals. They're cephalopods. So they're closely related to another group of animals called the gastropods. Does anybody know what the gastropod is? Gastropods are your snails. So they're stomach-footed animals.
Oh my god!
Well, she's not trying to eat.
Trying to get out, maybe, right?
She's actually being very entertained, actually. We do have an enrichment program, and we have an encounter program for guests. And as part of an enrichment program we have for these animals, we'll change up their scenery. Actually, all the rocks in here, she's actually been moving herself lately. Normally, we'll put little scrub brushes in there, something with a different texture that they can grab onto. Just something that feels good. A lot of times we'll spend hours. Not necessarily playing with them, but definitely interacting with them. We also do other things, which we'll do a little bit later tonight, is we'll actually create challenges for them, like puzzles. So when they're foraging in the wild, they're swimming around, crawling around on the rocks, they're reaching inside crevices trying to find little crabs or shrimps, or even clams. And what we do is we use little foraging puzzles. This is just a simple jar that actually has Easter eggs full of food. So she has to actually figure out how to open the jar and then open the Easter eggs, and then she'll get her food. She's actually pretty good at it. As they get older and stronger, they actually figure out they can just squeeze the jar. They'll just squeeze the jar and the lid will pop off.
How long does it take them to figure out?
It depends on the animal. Some of them figure out really quickly, and others it takes quite a while. They actually have the ability to learn. They've documented animals that don't know how to open a jar, and they'll put it next to an animal that does. And just by watching that animal open the jar, I can figure out how to open the jar.
I'd be scared.
They're very intelligent animals. They each kind of have their own personality. She's one of the more outgoing animals we have.
She changed colors.
She did change colors.
Her head was white.
Yeah, so those are those chromatophores. Those are those modified cells that allow her to change her colors.
So she'll just do this all day.
She'll do it for quite a while, yeah.
Oh my god.
And she's small enough that she doesn't really leave any marks. Some of the bigger animals, just because they're so heavy, pulling away, you can get like little pinky bruises on your arms. But she's pretty good. She's one of our more outgoing animals. We do have some animals that are really gentle, and they actually are kind of a relief sometimes to work with, because they just sit there and kind of, slowly press your arm.
Aren't octopuses pretty smart, though?
They're very smart, very intelligent. Yeah, they can figure out puzzles. In some aquariums, they've had animals that actually have learned to escape their aquarium, climb into another aquarium, grab a fish, and come back. And the way they figured it out is they were losing fish overnight, and the fish, they weren't dead in the tank. They didn't jump out, so they set up cameras, and they actually captured on camera an octopus crawling out of a tank and climbing into the other one. So at the center of all these arms, there's the buccal mass, or the mouth.
Oh my god!
Oh, she's sneaky. And inside that area, she actually has a beak, similar to a bird. Here's some octopus beaks in here. You guys will take a look at a little bit later. She'll actually, instead of swallowing her food whole, she actually takes little bites, little tiny bites out of it. And once she gets a crab or something open, she has another feature called a radula. And the radula is kind of like a tongue. It's a tongue with all these little spines on it, kind of like a file. And she'll actually scrape away all the soft tissue inside of a clam. Gastropods also have that radula, and they'll actually use it. Do you guys go walking on the beach at all? Pick up seashells? You ever find seashells with the little holes in them? That's actually from a gastropod, or some type of snail. It could be from an octopus too. But what they do, you know, you have a little snail that's trying to eat a clam. It obviously can't pull it apart. They're really strong.